every morning before court, I would go to the gym in Union Square. And Union Square in San Francisco is like Fifth Avenue in New York. It's where all of the big, flagship stores are for the American brands like Nordstrom's and Bloomingdale's and Macy's and Gap and Old Navy and Levi, and all the big foreign brands like Gap, like Gucci and De La Valle and Prada and Burberry and Ferragamo, and all of these giant stores there. Well, when I went back a month ago, all of those stores were closed. Oh, it's just acre after acre of plywood. It's like as if all of Fifth Avenue shut down. People come from all over the world to shop there, and it's gone. The economic heart of that city has been torn out. And it was such a traumatic experience for me seeing this. I love San Francisco. It's the most beautiful city in our country. It's my favorite city. And so I started studying homelessness because I didn't know much about it. So I started reading the books. My son, Connor, who's 28 years old and just graduated law school, he turned me on to a writer called Matthew Desmond. And Matthew Desmond has written a seminal work on homelessness, which is called Evicted. It's a best-selling book. But he's done all of these studies, and he did them with the University of San Francisco. And he went out and actually interviewed with this big team from the University of San Francisco. He interviewed thousands of homeless in San Francisco, and he gave questionnaires to them. And when I approached this issue, I came in with a series of assumptions and biases. And one of those was that homelessness was a feature ultimately of drug addiction. I also thought it's also linked to mental illness and to extreme poverty. And also I assumed that a lot of the people who were homeless in San Francisco had gone homeless somewhere else, like Detroit or New York, and they didn't want to sleep in the snowstorm on the grates. So they moved, they use their last couple of bucks and take a bus to San Francisco. And San Francisco is, of course, a better climate, but also a famously generous social service system. I'd also heard from many people in San Francisco that police in towns like Austin and Dallas, when they arrest a homeless person, when they pick them up, instead of bringing them to the county jail, they put them on a Greyhound to San Francisco with a one-way ticket. A lot of people in San Francisco believe that. So what Desmond's study shows is that the people who are homeless in San Francisco are from San Francisco, overwhelmingly. So they didn't come from somewhere else. He also shows that there's parts of this country, like West Virginia and Detroit, which have much higher levels of drug addiction, but they don't have homelessness problems. And he also, and they also have much higher levels of poverty. San Francisco is the wealthiest city in our country. He also shows that, yes, many people who are homeless are mentally ill, but overwhelmingly they became mentally ill after they became homeless. He shows that after only 3 days on the sidewalk, your psyche begins to deteriorate, to disintegrate. And what he says, and he shows with data, is that the one correlation to homelessness is housing prices. And California has the highest housing prices in the country. And what Desmond says is that this epidemic that we see of homelessness in San Francisco is building like a tsunami and is about to roll across our country and bring the same level of homelessness, but also the same levels of disintegration. The reason all these places shut down is because of the chaos on the street, because people don't want to shop there anymore because there's these homeless encampments everywhere. And that same phenomena is about to happen to the rest of the country because the price of housing is skyrocketing.